Entonces los que no vivieron, ellos no lo hacen a propósito, sino que también porque nunca lo vivieron, nunca lo sintieron. Entonces para ellos es fácil olvidar de lo que ha pasado. Como dice Ríos Montt, uno de los responsables, uno de los generales, él siempre ha dicho, hay que construir el futuro, hay que ver el futuro, no hay que pensar o no hay que regresar en lo pasado. Pero él lo hace, eso sí lo hace con un objetivo, con un propósito, para que la gente no siga luchando, no sigan diciendo los errores, los delitos que ellos cometieron en aquellos tiempos.
We were invited to sit down among the soldiers and army officers, and they had a couple of presentations for us about the armed struggle and reconciliation, and then they opened it up to questions. My question was basically what has the Army done to rebuild the trust with the indigenous people who have been so grossly affected by the Army. They kept talking about how reconciliation is going to happen with development, and that was it. But they never described what that development was going to look like. Never once did they mention the word genocide, and never once did they say racism was a motivation.
Also on Tuesday we got to go to see some recently unearthed police archives, and that was also pretty amazing. It was, I mean, rooms and rooms and rooms filled with these documents.
On July 5, 2005, officials from Guatemala's Human Rights Agency investigated a munitions depot explosion in downtown Guatemala City. As it turned out, the rat-infested compound housed more than improperly stored arms. It held the abandoned archive of the National Police, an organization notorious for its role in the disappearances, mutilations, and murders of the Civil War. This inadvertent memorial will substantiate Truth Commission testimony. It also promises to help families find the remains of their loved ones who suffered the violence of the bloody internal conflict. Those who now work at the archive do so at great personal risk. They aim to resurrect the past, to give voice to the victims, to shine the spotlight on perpetrators.
We got to talk with an activist, Mario, and he was telling us about, his work kind of around people who had been disappeared.
Ustedes pueden ver ese montón de fotos que nosotros tenemos por todo el edificio.
You can see all the photographs that we have all through the building.
Y ustedes pueden creer, bueno, ¿y por qué tienen ese montón de muertos ahí, por todos lados?
And you can say, well, why do you have all these pictures of dead people all over the place?
Para nosotros no están muertos.
For us, they're not dead.
Por lo menos hasta que no nos entreguen los cadáveres, ellos están vivos.
For us, at least, until they hand over their corpses, they're alive.
Nosotros necesitamos saber quiénes los mataron, dónde los enterraron, devolverle los restos a sus familias.
We need to know where they were killed, who killed them, and we need to return their remains to their family members.
Todos son víctimas.
They're all victims.
Y tenemos fotos por todo el edificio, por toda la oficina.
We have photographs all over the office, all over this building.
Those people aren't back now. Like, those are people who are still gone, and Mario still receives threats to this day.
No sabe dónde quedó su esposo. El esposo de él lo agarraron aquí en el pueblo de Tecpan. Como todo el tiempo estaban huyendo, entonces dice que uno de sus hijos, y contaba pues el niñito cuando estaba muerto, siempre le decía a su mamá y a su papá, no vamos a sobrevivir, seguro más uno, más dos, va a morir. Entonces el niño presentía y cabal se murió de puro miedo, de tristeza. Cuando se murió el otro, todos los días llamaba a su padre, como decía ella ahorita, papá, ¿dónde estás? ¿Cuándo vas a venir? ¿Qué momento vas a llegar? ¿Qué te pasó? Porque él no entendía lo que había pasado. Entonces solo logró vivir 15 días después y se murió de pura tristeza. Trapataya. 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 Ella nunca ha contado qué es lo que ha pasado.
On behalf of all the students here, we just want to thank you all so much for sharing your stories. We see how difficult that has been, and we have a tremendous respect for your courage and your will to survive through all of this. And we'll always carry with us forever and back to the United States your stories and your tears and your pain, because people need to know what happened here, and I think that's the greatest gift we can give you all.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Gracias.